Good morning. Good morning, everyone. This is Venus Flytrap from WKRP in Cincinnati. Shit. That's funny shit right there. I don't care who you are. How we doing this morning? Good to see you guys. Click go live here, there, and everywhere. Make sure all the platforms are good. See if Facebook's nice to us today. Probably will be. Well, we're back up here. This is day 3, doing the live from Island Falls up here up to camp in northern Maine. If you haven't been on this week, we've been working from here this week and hoping to see the sun today, but it was advertised as going to be 56 degrees, and that's come down to 52 and partly sunny, and not really that sunny at all. So interested to see how that goes throughout the day. So maybe the last of the snow will go today, but I doubt it. So how are we doing today? Post in the chat 1 to 10 how you're hitting them. Hopefully straight. And we'll get things pulled up here. Dave Howard's the first one here this morning on Facebook that I see anyway. Happy hump day. Yeah. All you Irishmen have recovered. And getting through it. I don't have my Summit cup, but got the big Yeti going. Coffee number 273 on the sleep score. Not too bad considering there's a couple of hounds. One of them's right here that want our attention all the time. So we're working with that, but we'll take it. I feel fairly rested. I think it's more about what time you get to bed than what time you get up, right? Because if you're anything like me, you're just going to wake up about the same time. And if I go to bed at midnight or 9, I'm still going to wake up at about the same time every morning. I haven't used an alarm in a long time, so but that's just the way it goes, right? We get older, maybe we need a little less sleep. I don't know, or we operate with a little less sleep for sure. So how you guys doing? Jason Rector is here. He's a 9. That's great to hear. We'll wait a second, see if anybody else jumps on. Don't I hate to repeat myself? Coffee's particularly good this morning. Hitting right. Number 2, probably hit a third one. A couple of coaching calls today. Going to shoot a podcast today and do some other stuff. We might go to market later. See what's happening out there. Who else is here? Maybe my Facebook's a little slow to update. How you guys doing? What's on the schedule today? Yeah. I was doing my mic check, my sound check before, and I was practicing my Venus Flytrap voice. WKRP in Cincinnati. Have a good time with that. So, well, anyway, enough of that. Enough of me just talking about nothing. Tony Botai is here. He's a 10. All right. Good to hear it, brother. Good to hear it. Yeah. And you choose your attitude, right? Every day. So, well, what I wanted to talk about today, talk at you about today. And I looked because I was putting this together and I thought I had talked about objections recently, how to deal with objections, but it was either on another call or I had talked about objections as part of another talk. But this is specifically about objections, the truth about objections with regard to sales, and that they're just unanswered concerns. All right. When people object, it means they're considering buying, but something is holding them back. Good morning, Bubba Hogan. Good to see you. You know, when somebody says it's too expensive, that often means I'm just not convinced of the value yet. I need to think about it. Often means, I don't trust myself to make the right decision. I've got to have to talk to somebody else that can kind of validate what I'm wanting to do. How about this one? I need to check with my partner. That often means I'm afraid of making the wrong choice. They don't want to make the wrong choice, or they're accountable to somebody, which is fine. They got to check in with somebody. We can respect that. But when you understand this stuff, you stop fearing the objections, kind of expect them from time to time. Start seeing them as buying signals. Buying signals. You want my stuff. I was talking to Dave Brackett last night. What's that movie? Jack Nicholson and Tom Cruise. You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. That's how he said. That's how I go into my sales calls. Help me, help you. Well, no, wait, that's Jerry Maguire. I might be crossing over. Anyway, I got my movies mixed up. Yeah, good morning, Danielle. Good to see you. So there's a 3-step process here that I'm going to share with you guys to overcoming any objection. Danielle, we're talking about objections and sales, and again, you can use this stuff in about any kind of mode of communication if you want. There's a simple way to handle every objection without coming off and sounding pushy. All right, it's called the feel, felt, found method. Feel, felt, found method. Luke McGee, Toy Story. Yeah, is that the one? I don't know. You can't handle the truth. Yeah, we'll do movie day one of these days, right? So feel, felt, found. How do we do this? Step 1, acknowledge and empathize. Feel, right? Hey, I can understand how you feel. This is a big decision. You want to make the right choice. So that's feel. Felt. Step 2, share a relatable story. I've had other clients who felt the same way at first. They were also concerned about XYZ. Okay. So that's feel and felt. Here's found. Step 3, provide proof and then reframe. So here's how we do that. And then tag this on the end. But what they found was that once they took the step, they got XYZ. And now they're glad they didn't wait. So putting that all into one pile, for an example, handling this, say, a price objection, I totally understand how you feel. This is an investment, and you want to make sure it's worth it. A lot of my clients felt the same way before they started. But what they found was that the return on investment made the price insignificant. Boom. Mic drop, right? You got it. So feel, felt, found. Just a little something. I don't care if you just use one of them, right? Just start maybe working some of that stuff into your sales calls. Good morning, Dan Bennett. Good to see you. Let's talk about the top 5 objections. You guys can probably rattle them off. What's the number 1? What do you guys think the number 1 price objection is? Anybody? It's slow in the chat, so I'm sure somebody's typing right now. It's too expensive, or price, right? Here's a good response to that. I don't know that I could get away with saying it this way, but compared to what? They say it's just too expensive. Compared to what? I might say, well, okay, what? Just to help me out. What were you basing that on? What were you comparing that to? Maybe that's a little bit softer. Hey, let's break down the ROI about what you're really getting. Number 2, this objection. I need to think about it. That's always the one, right? How do you argue with that, right? Well, how about this? Well, what? Just curious. I mean, while I'm still here, what specifically do you need to think about? Maybe I can help clarify some things. Ooh, yeah, Matt Tolman, money, exactly. Yep, number 1 objection. How about this one? I need to check with my partner. Hate that one, because that means you didn't get both people in the front end. Hey, I totally get it. If they were here right now, what concerns do you think they'd have? Right? Now we're continuing the conversation. We're not just taking our ball and going home. Or this one, I don't have time right now. What's costing you more, taking action now or waiting another year with the same problem? Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty direct. Or this one, I'm not sure it will work for me. Let me show you how others just like you have succeeded with this. So those objections, and I learned this from Steve Rosenberg, is that your responses to these objections need to be like your Bubba knows what he's phone number, social security, like what street you live on. Like how quickly you rattle those things off is how quickly you need to be able to respond to objections, right? Dan said, miss the influencer. Yeah, that's part of the sales process. We're speaking just specifically about objections, Dan. But yes, and what Dan is saying is a great way to uncover more in a sales call is finding out who the decision makers are, the influencers, right? Hey, is there anyone else excited about this project? Bam. That's when you're going to find out who the decision maker is or who else needs to be able to be on board and be able to make a decision, right? So yeah, influencers. Expensive or you can't afford me? Bubba, there's the door, right? I'd love to get to a point where I can say that. So what's the most common objection you guys hear when selling? Is it the money one? Just drop it in the comments. It'll catch up. I'm working on a hot spot up here at camp, so it might be a little bit slower. But I certainly feel fortunate to be able to stream. Let's check in, see who anybody on Instagram. Mike Nunez is watching. Good to see you, Mike from Nunez Vineyard Management out there in Napa. Go back to bacon and eggs, Dan. Yeah, you guys having breakfast today? Or is that tomorrow? I want pictures. Guys, we should call you guys the Breakfast Club. So how are you guys handling objections? Do you look at it as, well, they're not going to buy? Do you just kind of tuck your tail between your legs and go home? Do you fold your tent or do you dig in? Have you had much practice with it? Are you role playing with people that are trying to do the same thing you're doing? Sales role play. Okay. So identify the number one objection you hear most often. Write it down. Think about what's really behind it. Okay. What's the one you hear most often? If it's price, write it down. And then practice that feel, felt, found method. Hey, I understand how many of my clients have felt just like you. Once they've tried this, they've found that, I understand how you feel. Many of my clients have felt just like you. Okay. What they've found is, so work that in. It takes a little practice, right? Next time you find an objection, try that framework instead of arguing or defending your price or chest beating. Nobody does it like us. Yeah, well, my stuff tastes better, blah, blah, blah. Our process. Let me tell you about our process. Okay. This is why we're better than that other guy. And their eyes roll back in their head and they check right out on you. Right? Yeah. So yeah, check it out. So, and you can prepare it like a story or a case study, have a video ready, social proof. If they need help having more confidence in saying yes. Well, here's a video testimonial from our customer, Dan Bennett, that we worked with last week. And here's what Dan had to say about making this decision. Okay. A little bit of social proof. That helps. Yeah, it keeps telling me who is watching. Matt Tolman's watching 75 times. Tolman. Yeah, so objections don't mean the deal's over, guys. It doesn't mean that at all. They mean the conversation is just getting started, just getting warmed up. Okay, we got some objections. Now we've got a challenge. Now we're going to find out whether you have any sales skill or game, right? Don't go in there and show up and throw up. Ask how you can help the most. If you can stay calm, ask the right questions, reframe their concerns, you're going to close way more deals without being pushy. Every objection is just a hidden opportunity, really. Tell me more about that. Let's peel that back a little bit. Mark Richards, speaking of salesmen, he could probably teach this class way better than me. He's been doing it 28 something years. Yeah. What's your number one objection you hear, Mark? Probably price, right? Pop it in the chat. It's a little bit lagged on the comments, so if you hear me comment later, that's why. So, but yeah, we're up here in northern Maine at up to camp and working from here this week, and it's been great to just get out of Dodge a little bit and decompress. And super quiet here, especially at night. Not that it's loud at home, but it's just different. It's a different quiet. And the sky's different up here too. It's you go out last night, I went out to shut the generator off and the sky's just, stars are unbelievable. So I think I saw that space capsule come down. Not really. So yeah. Hey, if any of this hit home for you guys today and you want to chat further about it, hit me up. I'll put the link in the comments, as they say. We'll shoot you a link on how to book a 30-minute free 30-minute strategy call. Even if you say, hey man, I don't have anybody to kind of listen to my spiel. I'd be comfortable with you. Let's do a sales role play. If you want to want some help with that stuff, I certainly can be a sounding board. Mark Richards says, 27 years, sir. Objections are an opportunity for a discussion of the conversation to build value in what you're offering. Absolutely. If you don't know what you're offering, you're not clear of your offer, you better get clear on it. If somebody asks, what do? You better be able to answer that question in one quick sentence. All right, that'll help you. So, yeah, Matt Tolman is here. I see that you already went to your kickboxing class and smashed up the place, so good for you. Love to see it. Bubba's down in Disney, spring breaking it with his family, which is great. Good to see that. And I'm just mainlining coffee here and just dropping some serious coffee into me and getting ready for some coaching calls. Rah! And looking forward to a great day. So, yeah, camp's good. Wendy's doing good. The hip is coming along. She's really has to work. It's almost like learning how to walk again from what I can see. And just good morning, Josh Baker. So, yeah, she's really has to, pay attention to how her gait, because if you end up walking with that hitch, then that can kind of create a habit. So, but we got good PT people in our corner, and she's got the exercises to do and all that stuff. So it's just time, just doing the work. Boom. If you haven't bought the book, check it out. Finding Your Edge by yours truly. It's on Amazon. If you've bought it, read it, please write a review. I appreciate you. Last time I looked, there were about 13. There's probably more now. So jump on Amazon and write a review if you could. Don't say, hey, I've known Bob for a bunch of years. He's a good guy. We used to hang out. Say something about the book, because Amazon will bury that review if it looks like you're personally tied to me. So keep it more about the book if you would. That's what I'm told by the publisher anyway. And yeah, so we got some exciting things going on at Summit Coaching. We're working on building out a website. I say we. When I say we, I mean they. The team that we've hired to come in and put a level of branding and direction and consistency and messaging to this thing for me, because I've got podcasts and live and blog and one-on-one coaching, group coaching, Peak, Summit, Edge, all the stuff, all the things, events. We're going to be putting a little bit of a direction to this thing in the next couple of months. So you guys will be hearing some things, which is going to be exciting. So I'm not at liberty to discuss those at this time. So kidding. But anyway, getting organized, and that feels good. It feels really good. I'm excited about it. So I've been painting with a broad brush for a while and going hard in the paint, as Wendy says. And I'm going to keep doing that and doing what it takes to be successful and be a sought after coach and speaker. So I'm best described as gatherer of people, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. So to that end, I will see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. I hope this landed with you. You got something out of it. If you're in sales, you can use this feel, felt, found method. Try it out. If nothing else, when you're listening to this, you might pick up a word track. And a lot of the guys that are on this call are way better at this stuff than me. So, connect with people that you see on these calls, guys. Bubba Hogan is a sales ninja. Dan Bennett is great at it. There's some people here, Jason Rector, guys that know how to sell, and Mark Richards. So, that's the power of this community. Connect with them. And if you got questions or, you want help, that's the way it is in this community. We all want to win, and everybody wants you to win. So there's no ego, no BS. You come in here and you hang out with us, leave that shit at the door. So anyway, guys, have a great day. Kick ass, take names, put your foot on somebody's throat. No, just kidding. Get a little excited there. Do good things, help one another, and all that good stuff. Go ahead and make somebody's day today. It's Wednesday. We turn our focus toward making sure we get everything done before the end of the week. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you. I'm out. Take care.